constantly feeling drained by others' demands on your time and energy. In this video, we'll explore the powerful concept of not being so accessible, as taught in Buddhism, and how it can lead to greater peace and balance in your life. Lesson 1. Always available means easily replaceable in Buddhism. There is great value in mindfulness and intention. Life must not be lived in a state of constant reaction. When someone is always available, they are often not living with intention. They become a tool for others to use at any moment. Over time, this creates a sense of being taken for granted. The person loses their sense of worth. Others stop seeing the depth and meaning in them. They become ordinary. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent. Relationships, attention, and emotions change. If you are always around, others forget to value your presence. They forget to feel gratitude for your time. Your presence loses meaning. They begin to look past you. This is not because you are less valuable. It is because your constant availability has hidden your value. In silence and distance, people reflect, they think, they begin to miss. This space brings appreciation. When you are not always present, others begin to notice your absence. They remember your worth. This is not pride. This is wisdom. This is understanding the nature of attachment. Buddhism teaches us to detach from needing constant approval. We do not need to be available all the time to prove our love or care. Your energy is sacred. Your presence is powerful. If it is spread too thin, it loses its strength. Like incense burned too fast, the fragrance disappears too quickly. Be like the calm monk in the monastery. He speaks only when needed. He appears only when called by. Truth, his absence is not distance. It is devotion. Devotion to his practice. Devotion to his inner peace in life. You must protect your time. You must protect your focus. When you give yourself to everyone, you lose yourself. You become a shadow of what you were. Your light dims. People stop noticing. Buddhism asks you to be mindful of your path. You walk your own road. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. Always being available is not a gift. It becomes a habit. A habit that teaches others that you have nothing better to do. But your life is valuable. Your time is sacred. When you treat it with care, others will too. Do not be so easy to reach that your value becomes invisible. Be kind, but wise. Be loving, but strong. Be present, but not constant. Lesson 2. Saying yes to all is saying no to yourself. Buddhism teaches balance. Balance between serving others and serving your own spirit. When you say yes to everyone, you give up your balance. You ignore your needs. You silence your own heart. Saying yes can feel like kindness, but too much kindness without awareness becomes self-abandonment. The Buddha taught compassion, but he also taught boundaries. Even in giving, there must be wisdom. If a tree gives all its shade, all its fruit, and all its roots, it will not survive. It must grow first. It must be strong. Only then can it give freely and still live. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you build a wall inside. That wall grows higher. Your true voice becomes buried. You begin to feel tired, not just in the body but in the soul. This is not compassion. This is confusion. You think you are helping others, but you are slowly hurting yourself. Buddhism calls for subtle awareness. The mind must be watched. The body must be honored. The spirit must be protected. To say yes wisely, you must know when to say no. No is not rejection. No is redirection. It is choosing the right path, not the easy one. It is placing value on your own journey. You do not need to carry every burden. You do not need to please everyone. In trying to be everything for others, you become nothing for yourself. This is not the way. The Buddha walked alone often. In silence, he found strength. In solitude, he found truth. You must learn to say no without guilt. Say no with peace. Say no with love. Your life has purpose. Your path has meaning. You must not lose it in the noise of other people's requests. Protect your time. Protect your space. Protect your energy. When you say yes to all, your own dreams are forgotten. Your spirit becomes weak. Your light begins to flicker. But when you learn to honor your needs, your inner light grows brighter. You become stronger. You become peaceful. Lesson 3. Your peace dies when everyone has access. Peace is a flower. It needs space, sunlight, and protection. If too many people walk through your garden, the flower is crushed. In the same way, if everyone has access to your time, your thoughts, your energy, your peace will fade. Buddhism teaches that peace comes from within. It grows in silence. It grows in mindfulness. But in a world that always wants something from you, silence becomes rare. If you do not guard your peace, it will be taken. Not by force, but by noise. Noise of opinions. Noise of expectations. Noise of constant interaction. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some will take your energy but never return it. Some will enter your life but leave it in disorder. Buddhism reminds us to choose our surroundings wisely. Protect your space. Protect your mind. The Buddha often withdrew into forests and caves. He knew the world is full of distractions. Even good people can become distractions if you are not careful. Your peace is your temple. Let only the wise enter. Let only love and truth live there. You cannot heal when you are always open. You cannot grow when your life is always crowded. Solitude is not loneliness. It is sacred space. It is the place where your spirit breathes. When you are always available to everyone, your peace dies. It fades into the background. It becomes a whisper. Peace is not loud. It is soft. It is gentle. It needs quiet moments. It needs you to say no. It needs you to turn away from chaos. When your door is always open, your temple becomes a marketplace, crowded, noisy, full of demands. But when you close the door, the incense burns slow, the wind becomes still, the truth begins to rise. Guard your peace, keep your space holy, be mindful of who enters, be aware of what you allow. When you protect your peace, you protect your power, you protect your clarity, you protect your purpose. Lesson 4. Rarity creates demand. Be rare in Buddhism. There is beauty in emptiness. There is meaning in the pause. The rare moment holds the most value. In life, when something becomes too common, it loses its magic. The same is true for people. When you are always there, always seen, always responding, your presence becomes normal. People stop seeing your depth. They stop feeling your light. You fade into the background. But when you become rare, your presence becomes powerful. Your words gain weight. Your silence becomes meaningful. The Buddha spoke only when needed. His words were not many, but each one carried truth. His presence was not loud, but it changed lives. People traveled far to see him. Why? because he was rare, because his presence was sacred. You do not need to be everywhere. You do not need to be always visible. Let people feel your absence. Let them reflect on your value. This is not ego, this is wisdom. Wisdom to protect your energy. Wisdom to increase your value. When you are rare, people listen. When you are rare, your time is respected. When you are rare, your worth is seen. You become like the lotus. It blooms once, and in that bloom, the world stops to admire. This world moves fast. People come and go, but the rare soul is remembered, not for being loud, not for being present every moment, but for being intentional, for showing up with purpose, for disappearing to grow, for returning with light. Be rare in your availability. Be rare in your reactions. Be rare in your emotions. When you do not give yourself to easily, your spirit becomes strong. Your life becomes full of meaning. Your steps leave an impression. Rarity is not distance. Rarity is presence with purpose. Choose when to speak. Choose when to act. Let your actions be deliberate. Let your words be like blessings. Buddhism teaches us to detach from craving attention. You do not need to be seen all the time. You do not need to be liked by everyone. You only need to walk your path with truth. Lesson 5. Free attention attracts cheap respect. Buddhism teaches that what is given to freely loses its value. This applies to attention. If you give your attention to everyone without care, it becomes meaningless. People begin to expect it. They stop appreciating it. Your attention is your life energy. It is the focus of your mind. Where your attention goes, your life flows. If you give it away without thought, your energy is scattered. Your soul becomes tired. Your purpose is lost. Free attention teaches others that your time is not valuable. It teaches them that you are always available, that you do not have anything more important to do. But your life is important. Your time is sacred. Your focus is powerful. People respect what they earn. They respect what is rare. When you give your attention to easily, you are not helping others. You are losing yourself. You are teaching them to expect, not to appreciate. Buddhism is about awareness. Awareness of thought. Awareness of speech. Awareness of energy. Do not allow your attention to be stolen by noise. Do not allow your mind to be filled by others who bring no peace. Your attention must be given with care, with love, with purpose. Give it to people who value your presence. Give it to actions that build your spirit. Give it to thoughts that bring clarity. Let your attention be a gift, not a habit. When you protect your attention, you gain control. You gain focus. You become peaceful. You begin to live from the inside out, not reacting to the world, but creating from within. Cheap respect fades fast. Real respect grows from truth. When you live with intention, others begin to respect you deeply, not for your availability, but for your wisdom, not for your attention, but for your presence. Lesson 6. Your absence can speak louder than words. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step away. Your silence can be stronger than your voice. Your absence can teach more than your presence. Buddhism teaches that words are not always needed. Presence is not always required. Sometimes, space brings the lesson. Distance brings the truth. When you are no longer there, people begin to understand what you gave. In your absence, others reflect. They notice the peace you brought, the calm you carried, the light you shared. When you are always around, your value is hidden. But when you step back, Your spirit is felt more clearly. This is not about punishing others. It is about honoring yourself. It is about giving others a chance to wake up, to see you not as ordinary, but as a blessing. The Buddha often walked alone. His silence was filled with truth. His absence was a message. It taught patience. It taught awareness. It taught value. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to prove anything. Your silence is enough. Your absence is enough. When given with awareness, it becomes a teacher. In a world full of noise, silence stands out. In a life full of presence, absence becomes gold. Step back with grace. Disappear with peace. Let your absence carry your message. Buddhism is not about attachment. It is about freedom. Freedom from needing to be understood all the time. Freedom from needing to be everywhere. When you step back, you gain space. Space for growth. Space for clarity. Space for healing. Let your absence be a mirror. Let others see their own behavior. Let them feel your value. Not through words, but through silence. Be wise with your presence. Let your absence speak when your voice is not needed. Your spirit is powerful. Let it echo even in your silence.